So, it's halfway through the year, time for an update. February last, my wife and I were driving back from the hospital. Our son was 2 hours old. My wife looked at my phone and read out an email that I just received. We weren't going to have access to the campus, and the students were arriving, or due to arrive, in 6 days. It was a whirlwind of a moment for the two of us, drunk, delirious with oxytocin and the joy of our newborn son, and then that same morning finding out that the campus was not going to be available for the students that were due to arrive in less than a week. It was a sobering reality, but my wife was heroic, and I'll never forget what she said. She said, "That's all right. God will provide. We just need to trust in him." I was very impressed, to say the least. And she was absolutely right. Within 2 weeks, we had our offer for a property had been accepted and the finance was approved. And that was just miraculous. It was an answer to prayer. And we secured a 6-acre, gorgeous property, just 5 minutes out of Bellingen, surrounded by mountains, beautiful views in every direction. And that was great. We had to ask the students to do the first term online to give us time to set up the campus. And I promised the parents that we would be starting second term face-to-face. I made that promise before I knew what the settlement date was going to be. Subsequent to making the promise, I received news that the settlement date was 2 weeks before when we were due to have the students arrive. Needless to say, there was a bit of pressure felt to construct a campus fit for the students with sufficient infrastructure in 2 weeks. Fortunately, my legendary dad came up and spent those 2 weeks building a dormitory for the boys, and we're working late into the night, pulling off a remarkable achievement and working right up until the day the students arrived. We were very close to asking the students to do another term online just to buy us a bit more time to have the campus more set up. But I was aware that the students were more keen to have face-to-face learning resumed than to be having a complete campus. And so they arrived, and I to be honest, I was anxious that they might turn up their nose at the fact that we're kind of building a ship out at sea, so to speak. But instead of turning up their nose, they rolled up their sleeves and they pitched in from literally the very first hour they arrived. They were so helpful. It was incredible. And just a staggeringly impressive work ethic. I'm convinced that the students that come to Augustine Academy are the highest caliber in all of the continent. In terms of character, I don't think any school can boast of students that have a better attitude to life and to learning. They were enthusiastically engaging in all of the course content. And then when we had our 15-minute breaks between class, they'd be out there on the shovel, helping with making a car park. That was actually one of the bigger projects the student helped out with. We needed more car parks, and so we cut down a small forest of palm trees, which was a lot of fun. Seeing the trees crash down to the ground was gratifying. It was slightly less gratifying digging up the network of tree roots. It was even less gratifying when it poured continuously and turned all the dirt into mud that stuck to your feet stubbornly. And it took several weeks to get all the tree roots out. The last one was, of course, the biggest one. We'd save the biggest till last. And we'd been working on that for several days, and it was starting to get the better of us. It was it's rough to be defeated by a tree, but we weren't. We had the I'm not sure if it's not the orthodox way that arborists usually remove trees, but we decided to well, we hooked up the 22-seater coaster bus, and we had the bus there, we had the Prado there, and ratchet straps back to that stump. And we might have broken a few ratchet straps, and there might have been some wheels spinning and smoking rubber, but in the end, there was this heroic moment where the whole tree stump that was the size of like a large coffee table just came up out of the ground, and the sound of the tree coming out of the roots was glorious, and it was accompanied by just this roar of all the boys as they cheered the removal of the stump. So that was a great moment that will be remembered. But that wasn't the end of the car park. We still had to spread 24 ton of road base, which the students did just so impressively. I told them to stop if ever it if the rain began. I said, look, don't work in the rain. They were stubborn and disobedient, and I'd be so many times fighting and just bucketing down with rain, and the boys would be out there and spreading the road base, doggedly committed to finishing the car park before the term concluded. And they did. They finished it, and they're very proud of their accomplishment, and they should be. Didn't spend the whole term just on the shovel though. We got stuck into Roman history. We did a deep dive into the primary sources and looking at the rise and fall of the Roman Empire. We looked at some Greek tragedies. They covered medieval philosophy, and we're looking also at theology. The students also made a lot of progress with their public speaking skills. We had talent nights every week. We did rhetoric and drama, and there's a lot of opportunities for the students to accelerate their public speaking skills, and I definitely noticed a lot of progress on that frontier. So that was quite good to see. Students made some really creative assignments. They did a documentary that we're uploading to YouTube, some documentaries on ancient Rome. So it was very creative. They did very well with that. And the extracurricular activities were enjoyed by all. Lots of beach trips. The students didn't seem to think that heavy rain should dissuade them from excursions, and so when given the option, they always decided that mountain climbing, bushwalking, exploring the waterfalls, or going to the beach all should still happen, even if 40 mil of rain was forecast to be falling and was falling that very day. So they were a very committed cohort, very impressive in that capacity. And towards the end of the term, the river that goes through Bellingen was kind of flooding because it literally just had not stopped raining. And so we decided to do the only prudential thing. When a river floods, there's really only one thing to do. And so we did it. We launched a small fleet of half a dozen canoes with some half-competent students and their reckless principal down the Bellinger River, and decided to try and execute 8 kilometres of rapids. You can imagine the result. There was many capsizing, which was a precondition really of any adventure. And we didn't have enough boats, or enough canoes for all the students. So we put 3 in this rowboat, and it was quite an unconventional sight seeing these students, rowing backwards down a rapid that they were shooting. It's not really the orthodox way to execute a rapid, but it was in fact actually the only boat that didn't capsize. So maybe we've invented a new way to do whitewater rafting. Who knows? Anyway, that's the updates for now. I'll keep you posted. Stay tuned for some more updates on what's happening this year at Augustine Academy.